the punch heard around the world.
Oh.
Made waves in an international airport. I was in Portugal as this happened, and I could see in the customs line everyone looking around like, oh, did you see this?
Isn't that amazing?
And, of course, it was Cleveland when I'm not there. But the Jose Ramirez punch literally had transcended the continent in a matter of minutes thanks to Twitter.
Which is odd because baseball's not big in Europe.
Unbelievable.
No, but I'm sure there were a lot of Americans in the line.
Yeah, it was to get the
Instagram.
customs flight from Germany. We had to go through Portugal to get back to America. So I was in a line with a bunch of Americans.
Yeah.
Getting
it's
that
just
passport
crazy.
stamp.
I mean, sometimes we have to be reminded the power of this thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And social media and how a punch thrown at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario can immediately be viewed and cause ripple effects half a world away in seconds.
Yeah.
I was not watching the game. I've lost interest, as I well documented on Friday. Wasn't watching the game, and I got a text from a good friend of mine showing the fight, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And I also wasn't watching the night before. I heard all about the push-off from my baseball teammates when I got to my game Saturday.
Yeah.
They were all telling me about it. And I said, well, when I saw the fight, I go, that's got to be carryover. That's definitely carryover. And I love everything that Jose did. I mean, he slid hard. He was sending a message, and then he dropped him. And Hammy's call might be the best part about it. There's already a shirt that says, down goes Anderson with an image of the fight.
It was just amazing that they put that out so quick. I mean, listen, I know one of the questions is fighting good in baseball? In general, fighting in sports is not good, but once in a while, it's a lot of fun. And this is one of those situations. Tim Anderson started something he couldn't finish. I mean, he dropped the gloves first. Essentially, using a hockey term.
He literally did.
He literally drop his glove.
Infielder glove off.
And he squared up, and Jose squared up, and Jose just caught him right on the jaw. He might have a concussion. I mean, who knows?
I think he was concussed.
Yeah,
there was another clip that was minutes after the punch. He had no legs.
Yeah.
He didn't know where he was. So I do think that, the term in sports, glass jaw, we've all heard it.
Yeah.
If you have never been punched in the face, you don't know if you have one or not.
I haven't been punched in the face.
I have, and in hockey fights, and I found that it didn't affect me at all. Didn't affect my leg. It hurt like hell.
Yeah.
But it didn't send any trip wires to my brain or to my legs.
To be out.
I've seen other big guys.
Yeah.
Big guys that had never been hit in the face. And the first time they got hit, it tripped that switch, and they were out. And apparently, Tim Anderson has what they call in sports a glass jaw.
Yeah, I mean, they had to walk him out of there because he, and then he didn't play yesterday, obviously. But it was a good fight. I'll tell you this.
It seemed like a glancing blow, though, didn't it?
It didn't seem like the biggest hit, but yeah.
And the other thing, too, was he was being pulled away from.
He was, yeah.
Anderson.
He had his neck. Whoever that, I can't tell who that is.
I think it was.
Was it Zach Remillard?
No, I think it was the pitcher.
It's Kopech.
Oh, that's Kopech.
Yeah, he got to him first. And he's much bigger than Jose.
Yeah, sure.
And so his momentum is being pulled away, and he just flails it. And he's sort of.
Yeah.
But you can see, when you watch that slow motion version, you can see the fuse blow.
Yeah.
In Anderson, because he just does a little wobble, and he's done.
Man, yeah, and after that, things still got heated again. There was like a second round.
It took like 20 minutes, didn't it?
And the White Sox manager got ejected. Francona's been ejected like 5 games in a row or something.
Well, he's trying to light a fire. He's trying to light a fire, and I think he may have told Jose, "Look, we got to do something. We need something."
Unfortunately, it didn't work because they lost both games since then.
They've lost 5 of 6 since the trade of Savali.
7 of 9 total.
7 of 9 since the first trade of Rosario, I believe.
By the way, yesterday, so the White Sox traded a journeyman relief pitcher named Keenan Middleton to the Yankees. And Middleton, who was only on the White Sox this year, had signed the minor league contract, but had been pitching well for them in the pen. There were some quotes from him.
About what's going on in Chicago?
Yeah. Did you see those quotes?
I didn't, but I can imagine because Bill, you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
This is clearly a group of malcontents. They're playing way below their skill level.
He says there's no rules there. Everybody does whatever they want.
Yeah,
he's like, there was a rookie pitcher who fell asleep in the bullpen. Guys don't go to meetings. He said he couldn't believe it. He said he didn't because he had a beard, and obviously he had to shave his beard when he went to the Yankees. He was like, Yeah, I didn't want to shave my beard, but I was happy to do it. I was happy to follow some
At least
rules.
now there's discipline, yeah.
Yeah, and
that explains a lot,
damning.
doesn't it? That explains a lot. Now,
Yes.
So I'm just going to guess. Haven't
Yeah.
read anything about this, haven't heard anything about this. Tony La Russa was there.
Yeah.
And there was kind of a player revolt under Tony La Russa. And I'm
Right.
wondering if La Russa, who's old school,
And they didn't play well for him either.
they did not. They didn't like him.
No.
They didn't like him. There was a real rift between La Russa and the players.
Yeah.
In part, I was told, because of all the rules.
Right.
And I wonder if White Sox management didn't say, look, this is 2023. And they're not doing well with all this structure. And I wonder if they then swung the pendulum too far the other way
They
and
certainly
said,
did, it appears.
let's relax the atmosphere and see what happens.
Yeah,
Well,
they should blow up that team, but that's
it's a
whatever.
disaster. It is.
Mr. Anderson, you got knocked out, bro.
Yes, you
They-
did.
He's now a meme for life, guys.
Oh, my God, yes.
20 years from now, when you think about Tim Anderson, and I'll tell you why that's true, the first thing you're going to think of is that punch, no matter what he does, because Robin Ventura had a great
To
career.
this day.
We can't think of anything about Robin Ventura except
right.
for getting, cow-poked by Nolan Ryan.
Because
Jose Bautista, too, got punched by Rick
a
Odor.
great player. And
Yeah.
Odor, that was one of the greatest punches
Ever.
And he didn't fall down.
We're going to rank those
But it
coming up.
knocked
Don't
his
worry.
glasses off his
They-
face.
they-
Yeah, by the way, we're going to count down
Yeah.
the top
Tried-
5 punches, not boxing punches in sports history a little
my
bit.
co-hosts try to save you. They try to go to the White Sox and their team destruction.
Yeah.
But this is all about you, man. See, in the hood, the guy who gets knocked out usually is the guy who squares up first. You threw your glove down like you had hands. You know if you got hands or not. Now, here's the problem. You got the overhead right didn't connect. He ducked 2 of those. And usually when somebody is ducking and you sitting here and they go up underneath you, he was looking at him like this. I got you. They grabbed him back, and like you said, your chin don't lift weights.
You can't train your jaw.
Like your chin don't lift weights. Ain't nobody scared. Hey, no one's scared of that ink. Hey, listen, you can be tatted up from your face to your heels. At the end of the day, everybody can get knocked out, and it's just all about whether or not when you get knocked out and you take your L's like the rest of us. If you know when you get knocked out, you have another renewed sense of aggressiveness now because you're like, man, I done gave some ass whoopings out. I done caught a couple ass whoopings. Ain't no big deal to me. Like, those are the most dangerous people. But these guys right here, the fake tough guy, look at him throw. Look,
He's standing there like he's done this before.
no, you missed the 2 overhand rights. Boop, you missed 2 of
again.
those, and then it was like flail. He got caught with a haymaker.
It didn't even look like that much of a punch.
It really didn't. But Jose's a strong guy.
He is.
He's got nice bat speed.
Yep. So,
And here it comes. And what's crazy to
Miss.
me is Jose really wasn't even looking at him.
Nope.
He's
No,
looking
miss.
down.
Heads down.
And he
Now
just
his head's being
throws a
pulled back.
haymaker.
Boom.
And he hits him right in the jaw. And guys, I know you say that some guys when they get in fights they say we won some, we lost some, but this is one of the most embarrassing things that can
Oh my
happen to
God.
a professional athlete.
Yeah,
Hands
that's
down.
about
Because
as bad as it
you got stripped of your machismo.
That's right.
In front of the world.
I
And if
heard-
this was 1991
I
when
heard
Robin
machismo.
Ventura or whatever year that was got beat to death by Nolan Ryan,
Yeah.
that was bad enough because it played on George Michael Sports Machine
Right.
and Sports Center.
But
But there were
is
people
everywhere.
in Germany or wherever McNuggets was boarding his plane, and everybody was staring at the phone looking at the same clip
That's
of
right.
video. That's probably been viewed 100 million times.
Every non-diehard baseball fan who had no clue who Tim Anderson was knows who he is now.
wasn't that
That's so true.
wasn't that I think he had a side chick that put him out. I think he had a side chick and he was messing with this girl and then she just outed him to everybody.
Oh,
And so
really?
I think that might be the same dude. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
I
about
don't
that.
remember that. I don't
look-
remember that.
look,
Could certainly be possible.
Earl,
but I-
Earl says it is.
Earl knows.
Okay.
Earl keeps track of these things.
TMZ.
That sounds like an NBA type story to me.
And he had to come out and apologize. Now you got knocked out. So here's the thing.
Got knocked out.
The only way
Mama said.
the only way you can come back from this is you gotta go full Willie Mack. You gotta go full Willie McGinnis. You gotta make an example out of somebody. You better come in with the Mean Street Posse, and the first fan that say something, now you gonna listen. You might get canceled, and you may go to jail. But the only way
may
to
go
come
to
back
jail.
from that is you gotta make an example of somebody. They be like, dang, Tim Anderson didn't have to do him like that. and you still gonna say why'd you pick him? Why don't you go find Jose Ramirez and fight him again?
You know, I wonder if it's done between these two because
No chance.
to your point, I don't think there's any way he gets back his tough card.
He got to fight him
without
again.
knocking
Jose
Jose Ramirez out.
So
Yeah,
Jay,
he has
it's
to see
interesting
him
you
on
say
site.
that because Tim Anderson went on quite the Twitter tirade.
Oh, beautiful. What do you
yesterday.
say?
Let's take the
I
other
didn't
one
see any
first.
of it.
Don't take this one first, Anthony. Give me the full tweets.
By the way, hold on. Before you do that, Jose Ramirez, for his part, said, look, he wanted to fight. He
He's
said,
cool.
I
He's
want
gonna
to
get
fight.
suspended.
And so I had to defend myself. Now, both guys are going to get games.
yes.
Probably 3 or maybe 5.
Something like that,
Because it
yeah.
was a doozy. Both guys are going to get suspended. I don't think Jose should. What was Jose supposed to do when the guy drops his
Yeah.
gloves? That is basically a let's
I think
go.
they could argue he may have started it by he kind of pushed him.
I know,
here.
but what was said? Anderson
I
said
don't know.
something when he was standing over him.
Yeah.
And it was clearly a carryover. You know what? I blame the league. The league got this call wrong on Friday
the other
night.
day, yeah. And Jose was pissed because Jose at his post-game presser, talking through the interpreter said that Tim Anderson disrespects the game. Basically, he has a reputation of
And that
being
isn't
a
the
little
first time-
overzealous
Yeah.
on his tags.
And that isn't the first time that Tim Anderson has been accused of disrespecting the game.
That's true.
It's kind of his reputation.
Yes, it doesn't have a great reputation.
He does not have a good reputation. So what did he say on Twitter?
So
This will be
he's
fun.
tweeted a lot, and I'm going to read you a bunch of them. We'll show
trying
you
to
a
get that
few,
cred
and then
back.
he
Can't
he
do it.
erased
Talking.
one. So we're going to show you the one he erased after some of the ones he tweeted.
Oh, this
but
will be
Steve, you
good.
can take
Yeah, this
tagboard
is good.
full here. And he went on about 13 tweets, and I'll just read a couple. You know all this is happening for a reason. We stay focusing with this.
Wait, which is this? Is there an order to these?
From bottom to top, yeah. This was
From
all in like
bottom
a
to
10-minute span.
Okay, so what's that one on the right?
This is just saying Tim Anderson having an absolute meltdown on the timeline.
Oh, I
It's a
see.
screenshot
Okay.
of his timeline.
So he starts down there at the bottom. You know all this happening for a reason.
Then we stay focusing with this shit. We've been going through this shit for a minute. We ain't never tripping. This shit bigger. We gonna catch with them later. Keep kicking me while I'm down. He goes on to continue. A lot of MFers been switching up too. Fake shit. Y'all got me fucked up. Effed up. Sorry. For real. My bad. I
that's
hope you're
good.
picking up what I'm putting down. The bigger picture's always bigger. And then he erased one, and this is the tweet he erased. He got off me. We ain't tripping about that. This is bigger. We'll catch up with him later. So take that how you want. He did erase
Yeah.
that tweet.
I don't
know what the hell any of that means.
I think he's
I
saying,
think it means-
he's saying that he's going to go
Yeah.
after him again. There's going to be another fight.
Yeah, but is there something bigger? Like what?
What could be bigger? I don't
I don't know what's bigger, yeah, but
Now, can we bring street correspondent Earl in here?
Yeah, we need street correspondent
Hey,
Earl in.
street correspondent Earl, when he now this
Translate.
This in my way. I hope he's thinking of it this way. When he says it's bigger, is he insinuating that he's gonna catch him outside?
That's what it sounded like to me.
in the streets and not
Yeah.
the diamond.
That's basically what it sounded like to me.
Me too.
And Tim Anderson basically said, man, I'm going to see you again. I'm going to catch you in these streets, and then it's going to be the same thing all over again.
Listen, Tim Anderson ain't doing shit. He's soft as a baby's ass. He ain't doing nothing. Who's he kidding?
Well,
he ain't going after him on the street.
I'll tell you this. I think the commissioner now has to weigh that evidence
Absolutely.
as to what he does, and he might have to go 7 or 10 games on Anderson with the caveat
If you do
that if
something.
there's any retaliation, if there's any future dust up, you get half a year. Because one thing they can't have is
that
taking
sucks.
stuff to the streets.
You can't take it to the
You
mean
can't
streets
have
of
it in the
Chicago.
streets.
Like you can't catch Jose Ramirez in Chicago in
No.
a restaurant
No.
and just mean street posse him. That's not a
No.
thing.
No.
But here's the thing. I think they may give that caveat. Like, look, hey, we watching you, bro. That's premeditated. If we catch
Yeah,
you
that's
and you
not
do
good.
it again, we gonna give you a half.
And here's the other thing. On the diamond, what happens stays there. And almost never, there's been a handful of exceptions. Have there ever been criminal charges for something that's taken place on a field or on ice? I say ice
Yeah.
because I know one time
Right, yeah,
there were
yeah.
charges against a player who started a fight on ice. But if you're making threats like this, and then you go after Jose the next time they meet up on the diamond, which if you can, Mike, you find out,
Yeah.
are they done for the year or do they get to meet these guys again? Because if something dusts up later,
Yeah.
then it almost becomes an assault. a premeditated assault.
What he's hoping is
We got Tim Anderson and Donald Trump threatening to beat people up. Who's going to do it? Who do you believe is going to do it?
Neither.
And neither.
I would say my money would be on Tim Anderson.
Definitely.
However, he's counting on Ramirez being. He's like Jose come from a tough place. In where's he from? The Dominican
But Jose Ramirez is one of the most affable.
Everybody loves him.
Likable. I've never seen him lose his
He
temper.
might have been. He must have been pushed so far.
That's the code.
Have you ever seen him lose his temper?
Never that I can ever recall.
If he's threatening him, he's gonna get him back. He's thinking Jose ain't from no regular up top. Like he's not no sucker. Like he's not coming from private school or something. Jose, he was with it. So he's hoping like, okay, if I fight him again, Jose's not gonna press no charges on me. He doesn't look like a press charges type dude. He's just he presses chins though. It looks like he presses a lot of chins. You might not want that smoke the second.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if he gets you the second time, and you initiate it, and y'all play him, and he knock you out again, you got to retire.
I've got an idea.
That should be the rule.
You got to retire.
He should have to retire.
I
if he
want
kicks his ass
Barstool makes fights now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's very lucrative business. I want the UCSS pay-per-view Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez
That would be amazing.
Pay-per-view fight. We broadcast it. The three of us on the mics.
Yes, it'd be amazing.
We do it at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Man,
No, that's not big enough. At the Horseshoe.
Horseshoe, yeah.
do you
Listen.
How
So
many
these
people will show up?
these knucklehead nerds that run social media companies are going to do it.
Yeah.
And Dana White, who makes fights for a
Yeah.
living, said that if this happens, it will be the most watched fight ever.
Supposedly Le'Veon Bell and Vontez Burfict might be fighting.
Wow.
Now I'd watch the hell out of that.
Definitely
those
watch
guys,
that one.
Those guys both could go.
Legitimately, how many people do you think would show up to this? You think it would be like a
You'd
legitimate?
sell out Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
If Saturday night, let's say it was February,
crazy.
and we put the fight for a Saturday night in February, and the Cavs are out of town, and we
Oh,
said Jose
easy.
Ramirez versus Tim Anderson, 5-round celebrity fight.
This is Cleveland, Jay.
It
They'd sell out
would-
the Brown Stadium
They
for that.
probably would, and they'd come from all over. You know why?
Yes.
Because now we've seen the appetizer.
Yeah, that's right.
And Tim Anderson wants revenge. Let me tell you what Tim Anderson is doing right now. He's on the road in his hotel. The lights are all out. His ringer's off on his phone, but he's watching that on a loop.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And every time he sees it, he's getting more and more
Oh,
angry.
and people making jokes
He's
about him.
he's a meme for
and it's
life.
never going to
For
end.
Jose Batista's off the hook.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? We
He's
don't
off the
remember
hook.
that. We
Yes.
don't remember that.
No.
No, that's
I
done.
mean, we'll always remember it. But like the most recent great punch in a sporting event has been thrown by
This
Jose
is the
Ramirez.
worst ever in baseball because he collapsed.
He knocked him out.
No.
Down goes Anderson.
And it wasn't like it was a situation where he was fighting Aaron Judge, who's 6'7", 300.
He was bigger.
Yes.
Anderson's bigger. Hey, can we play the hammy audio?
Yeah, we do have the hammy.
By the way,
audio.
real quick before you play it, good job by the umpire who originally was
You're
trying to
right.
separate them, and then he's like, screw it,
You're
I'm
right.
out.
When he realized that they were going to throw hands for real, he's like,
And this-
I'm not paid
He
enough.
was like a hockey ref.
I'm not paid enough
I'm
for
out.
this.
And this is before you play it. This is when they say G. Bush is having spasms and he can't come to work. This is what happens to me in the morning.
Let's listen to the beautiful voice
Facts.
of the one, the only
Hamilton.
Tom Hamilton.
Tom, thank you. Thank you.
And Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson. First, now Hosey and
Do we have the longer
Anderson
clip,
square
Mike,
off.
where
They're
it
fighting.
transitions into
They're
this?
swinging. Down goes
Yeah, I'll find it.
Anderson.
That's what I
Down
was
goes
Because the way he
Anderson.
transitioned into the boxing call from... we
Yeah,
got-
the hard slide in a second.
right. We got to hear the call where he does the
And then he
baseball
means
call.
that
And then,
they're fighting. First of all, what I love about Tom Hamilton,
Yeah.
many things. He's the best.
Yeah.
What I love most about him is he never has the generic call. Like
At all.
whenever there's going to be a moment, and you know there's going to be a moment, whether it's clinching the ALCS or you know the World Series victory, these guys stand in front of their mirror
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
practice the call
Right.
because they want it to be good. Al Michaels didn't do that with the
No.
You Believe in Miracles. It happened.
and that's-
It was
yeah.
organic.
Well, that's what made it special.
That's what made it
Yeah,
so good because
right.
when they go into that canned performance, you're like, oh, dude, you
you-
just killed the moment.
Right.
You ruined it. Hammy, there's no way he ever could have anticipated this was going to happen.
No chance.
He was a true play-by-play man in that moment. He was calling what he was seeing, but he didn't know what was coming next.
We got to hear this one because this is where you can hear the transition.
All right, Steve, take it.
Was it?
Here it comes. A swing and a smash to first by the diving Vaughn. Down the right field line. Kicks into the corner. Ramirez on his way to second. Head first slide. Safe and in to score is Jimenez. And another hustle double. Right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
I mean, that's just an all-timer. And then the bullpen guys got to come out.
I love the behind camera view with the bullpen guys coming getting on their horses.
Kudos to the producer and director of the Guardians games on Bally's.
Yeah.
Because that's a camera that's a fixed shot. They usually like it when Class A comes out. They take it every time. Right. But the director knew, oh, God, they're leaving the pen. Give me the pen exit shot.
Man,
and it was right on it. It was a great job all the way around.
Hey, man, by the way, man, the fact that he has no feeling in his arms. He is not with us at that moment.
Nope.
His spirit is between here and Netherworld. It was where Ant-Man took place. He's in the Ant-Man division. He's there. He's fighting Kang the Conqueror.
Where is that?
I've been here 35 years, and I know you've been gone for 5 seconds.
There's a lot of really good ones. Mikey, I'm sending you one that I saw that's worth showing.
Oh, my God.
But there's so many good ones. But this one made me laugh for sure. Are you on Instagram?
Yeah. You've sent me stuff on Instagram before.
I thought I did. I wasn't sure. I just sent it to you on Instagram. See if you can put that in tag board and play it.
There's going to be...
Because it's a great job editing.
Yeah. Dude, by the way, are you playing the Immaculate Grid, by the way? Are you doing this?
No, I'm not.
You don't know what this is?
No, I don't.
How do you... You're the only person who doesn't know what this is.
What is it?
So there's this new thing called the Immaculate Grid. They have it for all sports. It started with baseball. So it's three columns and three... it's like 3 and 3.
Is it betting?
No betting.
Okay.
So on the top row, it'll say, like, for example... Cubs, Guardians, and then career 300 hitter. And on this row...
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yes.
It's
a lot of fun.
One of our producers upstairs, who's a big baseball guy, Tyler is his name, he does it. He showed me. I love those.
It's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun. Now, what's great is instead of going with the obvious choice,
you try to pick the random ones.
Try to go 2 or 3 generations back. So
I know. Today I did it in my fastest time, 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
What was it today? Do you remember?
The top was Cubs, Angels, and World Series winner.
Cubs, Angels, World Series winner.
And then going down was Astros, Cardinals, and 300 saves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be 2. There's 2 names, right?
And
we got 9 names total.
But we got a lot to get to today.
Sorry.
Anyway,
everybody check out the Immaculate
Grid.
They have it for football, too.
I haven't seen the football one yet. I've just seen the baseball.
They got basketball, football. It's actually a lot of fun.
It is.
It's just doing this live.
Go ahead, Mike.
We have the clip you just sent me on Instagram.
Okay, can you show it?
And we'll show it. Then we'll transition to the next part of this.
Okay.
Let's take the clip.
I saw this morning.
I don't want nobody listening.
Anderson
I see the
square
whole
off.
precision.
They're fighting.
Give us my
They're
only
swinging.
decision.
Down goes Anderson.
Make the spread fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word.
This is what he was seeing as he took one to the
By the way,
face.
Jose Ramirez stock just went up. I would ask for a new contract if I was him.
Yeah.
I'd ask for a whole new deal.
You know
I read my extension up.
Here's what I love. At a time when they've lost 7 of 9,
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
they are in a death spiral.
Yes, they are.
Their season's over. It's gone. It's out of control.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hosey premeditated any of or all of it. By the way, he slid hard and late into second base.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think the tag was particularly egregious.
Not in this case, no.
I mean, Hosey, we knew what he was doing when he slid that late.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, Hosey does things that no other players can do. We see him run the bases and we're like, nobody else tries that. The way he'll take chances, and,
Right,
and he's
yeah.
always knows just when to go. I'm wondering if this wasn't Jose saying, it's a Hail Mary.
Right.
Our season is now, obviously they lost
Right.
that game, but they were down big already, and then they blew it yesterday.
That was unbelievable.
I mean, that was a one-man thing, and it should have been a win.
Well, it was really a two-man thing because they had a
was
guy
Clase
playing
A.
first base who, well, Clase, I don't blame him, but Rocchio, like if you had a decent first baseman, he might have scooped those balls.
yeah, he would have probably.
You know,
I mean,
but Cole Calhoun's never really played first base. So
No.
I don't know why they don't have a first baseman on the roster.
Well, I mean,
They traded Josh Bell. Josh Naylor's hurt.
yeah, who else is going to play it?
Whoever's playing first base in AAA, call him up.
Thank you. Thank
Used
you.
to have him on the roster.
Thank you, management. I mean, it's kind of an important
I
position.
mean, listen, I thought the season was over anyway.
It is
but,
over. It is. But, I mean, in Jose's world,
Yeah.
there's one thing that might light a fire.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
Now, it didn't work.
No.
But
The team's just
I mean,
not-
what if those balls had been scooped,
Right.
and they won yesterday 5-3 and go on to win 10 of 11?
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know what the hell's
yeah.
going to happen.
They got a tough week, too. They're playing
They
the
got
Blue
a
Jays
real-
and Rays
I
this
know.
week.
Yeah,
so
this is the week.
It's
that
going to
you
get
can-
ugly.
Yeah, you could definitely,
Yeah.
put them in the ground this week.
Yeah.